My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today I'm talking about Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental is present in astrology under Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn matrices. With astrology, you do have Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in a natal birth chart. So all of those planets represent different qualities of being, like feelings or communication or behavior. So feelings being Moon, communication being Mercury, Mars being behavior, for example. And whatever zodiac sign you have in that planet will reflect how you'll behave or how you will typically feel. You also have the houses. So there's the context of the energetic dynamic of how that shows up in your life, which adds further extension to it. And then you also have 18 asteroids that make you you. So what I can say is that when I look at my comprehensive natal birth chart with the houses, with the asteroids, the lowest element that I have is Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental is going to be, it's also one of the formulas for manifestation. It's the final formula of manifestation. And so what you think about and feel about, you bring about. What you air, think about, you cups, feel about, and you earth, bring about. And in order to have a new manifestation, you have to fire up a new idea. So I'm going to go through the elements in the coming week and speak on each one. In Earth Elemental, the manifest world, often artists struggle or creatives struggle with finishing an art piece because art is a fire elemental. It is a creative spark. And in order for you to complete an art piece, that fire has to have dirt thrown on it. It has to become a pinnacle or become an earth formation. It has to become a completed vision that was in the third eye and held in the inner mind, in the creative mind, and it has to become manifest with one's hands in the world. And so an important thing to know, I have found throughout my life, because I have low earth in my chart, that activating earth is one of the ways I step into wholeness. I've had the Akashic records tell me, and I've always felt like I see astrology and numerology a little bit different than the average bear. I'm sure there are those out there that see it the way I do. And that's what I'm wanting to discuss with you today, is that I see astrology as a system to support a two-legged in coming into wholeness, coming into balance, balancing out the life. And if you have low earth elemental, what that means to me, a non-YOLOer, somebody who thinks there's far too much evidence that we live more than once through near-death experiences, through reincarnation stories, there seems to be evidence of consciousness beyond the flesh costume we inhabit. What I would say is low earth elemental in me indicates that for many lifetimes, I've done fire, I've been creative, I've been passionate. Yep, that checks out. I've been airy and had a lot of thoughts and strategy. Yep, that checks out. I've been psychic and emotional and intuitive and sensitive. Yep, that checks out. But I've been a little bit less cautious and sensible and slow and calm. One hundo, that totally checks out, everybody. Hello, have you met me? If not, I hope to meet you. But what I can tell you is that Earth Elemental is the thing that I get to activate in this life to experience wholeness and to experience balance. So when I look at an astrology chart, I'm often looking for what's not there. When I look at someone's numerology, I'm looking for what's not there, because the function of these systems is to bring the system into wholeness. We are emptiness. Atoms are made predominantly 99.999%, actually more than that, of emptiness. You are made of emptiness. Everything's made of atoms. Everything's made of emptiness. It's the only thing large enough to hold everythingness. So what we are as individuals is we are the stories we tell about what our emptiness is. I'm this, I'm not that. Ooh, I don't like that music, I like this one. Ooh, I don't like that outfit, I like this one. So we tell stories about what our emptiness is. And fundamentally, I think the function of evolution is to come into greater balance with experiencing the wholeness of one's vessel. And the wholeness that is available in the four quadrants of elements. Some cultures have it as five quadrants because they add metal, which I always call cutting away the dross. Cutting away the dross from the other elements. Earth elemental is typically grounded, sensible, logical, because even though air has this, there are elements that share qualities. So air has logic, information, communication, But Earth has this similar quality of also enjoying data and logic and sensibleness. They tend to prefer proof, physical proof that you have accolades. So they're not going to take your word for it that you're well versed in what you do. It's like, where's the proof? So as a low Earth elemental, I don't require proof. How do you feel to me? Does it feel like you're somebody that is what you say you are? I'm going to go by the heart of the matter. And that has gotten me into some tomfoolery because I'm pretty loving and trusting. And so sometimes I'm just, yeah, you're probably like me. And then it's like, ooh, tough lesson. You are not like me. So that Earth elemental will cause you to slow down. It'll cause you to be more risk avoidant. It'll cause you to be more cautious. It would cause you to be, to appreciate being sensible, being logical, doing the grounded thing. It would cause you to be calm. So I'm talking about a high level of Earth elemental. High level Earth elemental appreciates calmness. Now, if you are high fire elemental and you're real excitable and you're real loud, Earth elemental in my experience also doesn't like super loud noises. I've dated plenty of Earth elementals because it tends to be my teacher, and they don't love loud noises. And fire elementals are like, hey! They can explode into sound. The gift of you sacred Earth elementals, you Taurus, you Virgo, you Capricorns, and many of you that are watching this, if you haven't had your natal birth chart done, you can always go to rarebirdmedicine.com. Astrology is one of the services that I offer, but that will show you where you probably do have some Earth and how that shows up in your life. With Earth elemental present in the chart, you will have a very calming and grounding presence. You will be able to quell the storm. So if you're in a social situation where there's a storm, there's an argument, there's intensity, there's loudness, you have the ability to be calming to the situation. Literally just your presence. This is ox in the Chinese zodiac. Your presence as an Earth elemental it's soothing, it's grounding, it's calming, it's slow, it's plodding. Earth is where we plant the seed and we slowly nurture that seed and we are a steward of it and we care for it and we give it lots of love and sun, and we make sure all its needs are met so that it will bloom forth and bear fruit. And so Earth comes with a lot of lovely things. Taurus as a sign is typically deeply loyal. They can be stubborn like my Sagittarius self. But they're typically deeply loyal. They tend to be the money sign. They're most connected to finances and money, which means they have the propensity and capacity in the positive aspect of that sign to share self-worth, self-value teachings with the world. Thank you, Taurus. Virgo is a medicine sign. Virgo is the one that is aware of need. They're able to recognize need. They strive typically towards perfection. I always tell all the Virgos, be gentle with thyself. Be gentle with thyself, because they tend to be really hard on themselves because they do see often what the needs are in order to get something into excellence. But they tend to strive for perfection and do a lot of beat up, and therefore project sometimes beat up on others. Like if you would just do it right, So it's important if you're Virgo that you be gentle with yourself so that you can be gentle with the world, because we're all allowed to learn and grow. We don't have to get it perfectly right. But that quality within them causes them to be quite a potent medicine. They're able to be very medicinal in many different ways, in their jobs, to their friends, because they often see what the need is and they're able to serve others and support others in finding that need. And then Capricorn is that, striving towards success, that goat-like energy. If you've ever watched a goat jump up a steep mountain or cliff, you're like, what are you doing? That's that Capricorn Earth really driven energy. When you take Earth elemental and you bring it to the highest and you bring it to the tip of the mountain, it's going to have a lot of drive, a lot of ambition, a lot of motivation and activation. Now, typically these earthen signs, they look great in browns and earthen tones. And they typically as well, they like things to They can appreciate, like Capricorns are known for appreciating art and tend to want to date really artistic people, but they tend to themselves want to fit in and appear more socially normative. And that's because they're aware that success occurs if you play the game, if you fit into the paradigm. So there are qualities that can become present that can be a misassociation with a sign. People may think somebody that's heavy earth, if you're heavy fire and somebody's heavy earth, you might think, oh my God, they're boring. And the earth sign might think, you're a total spaz, you need to get your life together, right? We can get into judgments. I see astrology as a means to come to understanding with someone else. So, earth elemental in the negative is going to struggle with their value. They're going to struggle with their worth. They're going to find that they do get activated and have to work on activating their inner knowing of calmness. So just because you have a sign, Libra can be really relational, but also very balanced. But in the negative aspect, Libra can get way out of balance and struggle with their relationships a lot. So whatever the qualities are that are present, same with numerology, you can manifest and activate the positive or negativistic qualities that are available in that sign. And we're all allowed to grow, and we're going to probably show both qualities for every sign in our chart at some point in our life because we're evolving on those topics. I want to say that if you're an earth elemental, if you have heavy earth, it's important to know if you're someone that relates to they're too loud and they're too spazzy and they're too activated and they didn't follow the rules and they didn't get vaccinated and they didn't wear a mask and there's a lot of rule following with earth elemental. You have to follow the rules in order for the plant to grow and bear fruit. You have to follow the rules in order to bake a cake. You can't change the ingredients to bake that particular cake. So that serves. But it's important to know because it can be a high stress point when people don't follow the rules, when people don't show you their certifications and accolades, when people don't prove to you in the earthen world that, oh, I meet your earth standard. There can be disappointment in a life and there can be upset. So I wanted to speak to the earth elementals today and to just say, remember that some people are here to activate you. A fire elemental is here to activate your inspiration, your creative mind, your spontaneity. Earth signs tend to be a little bit less spontaneous. They love to plan. They love a to-do list. They love a checklist. They love to know that they're getting it done in order. So a fire sign is here to activate greater spontaneity in you. And air sign is here to activate greater communication in you because maybe you're just in your head with your checklist trying to get things done and you're not being as aware of communicating and connecting with others while you're doing your slow plodding work to get things done. And then a water elemental is here to ask you how you feel about it. And it's like, I don't know how I feel about it. I need to get the project done. And it's like, well, your heart matters in this too. So to the earth elementals, if you've had agitation with other elements, it's important to know that they are your teacher, they are your friend, they are inviting and invoking in you the opportunity to come into wholeness. I'm wanting to tell you today too to honor your gifts. All you earth elementals out there, my beloved earthen friends, have been a tremendous gift to me. It has been a precious and valuable teaching for Heather Feather to know to slow down. We don't have to launch into flight from the top of the peak of the cliff and use gravity and our flight capacities to zoom in. So it's been really medicinal for me to find the value in calm, to find the value in slowness, to find the value in checking my list twice before I leave the house. That's a really valuable teaching to an earth elemental. It's like, slow down. Did you get your keys? Earth elementals are out there locking their keys in their cars. So it's really precious for me to receive your teaching. So I hope you receive your value this day, earth and elementals. I have an apprenticeship that is starting in January. It'll be every Wednesday, 52 Wednesdays of online Zoom classes, 52 coaching calls with Heather Feather. I'm honored and excited to receive apprentices that will also grow and expand and teach me, as all things do when they bump up against one another. And our elements will come together and collide and offer each of us greater wholeness. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to use the astrology chart, the numerology chart, the Myers-Briggs, the love languages, the gene keys, all these different aspects of each of my apprentices to be clear that I'm tuned into your channel as we work together through the apprenticeship. And in January, we'll start with release and surrender, letting go of that which no longer serves. You can go to rarebirdmedicine.com and click on the classes link. You can always subscribe on YouTube, like and comment there. Blessed be.